When you have, when you look at it, we're going to have three new systems, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise, and then you have the newly appointed new coach on the block, Marcus Hagans, as a full-time assistant. So I think the transition has been something, offensively, since Larry is part of the offensive staff. When you break it up, he's a running back coach, but he's also responsible for the special teams. That there's been a transition in that terminology. I think the concepts are the same, but there are definitely the transition there. And then on defense, Coach Tenuta and his scheme is as any new system that's in, there'll be quite a bit of transition there as well. So I know it's a long answer to your question, but I think that the coaches have been working diligently to put in those things that alignments and gaps and things that are very familiar to what we've done in the past. And now the challenge is to do it, to put it all together on the field to execute it on March 18th. And it does fit very closely with the fact that I think that we have to be able to run the ball with the authority. We have to be committed to be able to do that. And that's part of the philosophy that I've had, for a while, as being a coach. But I think it, instead of looking to radically change things in terms of, a whole different approach, that wasn't going to be the case. When you have the philosophy that you have to be able to run the football with authority, it starts up front. It starts with the mentality. It starts with the type of guys that are there. You look at a guy like Lupa Wanko, awesome leader. Morgan Moses, it's his time. It's time for him to be a leader. We're not talking about draft picks and things like that. It's time to be a leader. Play after play after play, ball to and ball away. And, part of the mantra that we want, or the philosophy or the motto, or however you want to talk about it, this team, we want to be a tough, smart, and aggressive team. And when you say tough, that's having the ability to run the ball, and it's got to start up front for sure. You look at the evolution of offenses with RG3 and all the quarterbacks that are running and doing things, but running a pro style or an offense that you're going to rely on your offensive line, your tight ends, and your running back. So I think you'll see all those elements incorporated in this style of offense. The good thing about it is that there are three fresh eyes on all those quarterbacks. You have a quarterback coach, you got a former head coach, and you got a guy, Larry Lewis, and I'd say four, because you also have John Tenuta. And so the evaluation of the quarterbacks will be something that will definitely be a priority for us, but to also have the guy in there that can run the offense, ask what we're asking to do there. So there is no set, year one, year two, year three. With Phillip and with David particularly, this is kind of the third scheme, for them. Grayson is still, kind of learning, but for those two guys, it'll be a third system they'll have to learn rather quickly with only 15 practices in spring. Well, the daring style, I know that Coach Tenuta has done his homework and has done a lot of things with a lot of places that that gives the appearance of being a very zone pressure, a lot of movement oriented team. But if you ask him, and he wants to be sound in all areas, but then we're not just going to just stand still. We're not going to be a hood ornament, where you just sit there and you look nice, So I think that you'll see an aggressive approach, to the defense. You'll see, corners having to cover, and you'll see rush guys having to, relied on to put pressure on the quarterback. So most of these coaches' evaluations are just based on conversations, based on watching film, based on getting to know the guys. And I think that once we get a chance to see Eli and some of these other guys move around, or the first couple practices when you guys have a chance to talk to the coordinators, then you get a better idea or assessment of what they think skill level wise. But I think Eli will be one that can be a special player for us. When we evaluate a player and the skills and the characteristics that player has to have, but we also the type of skills that he has to have based on the systems that we have offensively and defensively. So when you talk about height, weight, and athletic ability and things like that, Eli fits the build. when you talk about a skill level, I think his skill level is one that you say this guy can be pretty good. He can be special. It's very important for Quanti to step out and step up and actually, fight for a starting position. I mean, right now Henry Coley is there. Like with all these players that are there penciled in, you could probably get a depth chart on the first day of practice. But all those guys that are in those positions are understand that this is not a given. You earn what you get. And I think Quanti for right now with the winter conditioning and all the reports that I hear from Evan in the weight room has done an outstanding job. And so the competition in that position, I'm sure, will be played out here in spring. And we're talking about three new schemes here, offense, defense, and special teams. And it does require a certain amount of process that goes along with that. But, as a competitor, as a coach, and I'm sure as players, I mean, you want to be successful. We want to win. We want to win now. As we get ready to have our first practice on March 18th, we want to see the development of what we know, what we need to know, what we need to add, or what we need to delete. And this process will go all the way up into August and definitely go all the way up into the season when this is probably the most challenging schedule that that Virginia's had in a while. And the fact and reality of building a program of going through the process is it takes recruiting classes. It takes those guys that once they come, that a guy like Evan Marcus gets them. It takes the opportunity that our academic advising teams put them on the right track in order to become students and to stay eligible. And to do those things, have confidence and success in the classroom. It takes time for a guy to be involved in the community where he has to get involved with the Boys and Girls Club or a local elementary school. That's called maturity. And we all understand we want them to grow up quickly and catch touchdowns quickly and tackle quickly, but there is a process that goes along with that. And with the incoming class, which we're very excited about, to infuse with the guys that we have here, that's how you build the program. And 2014s, we're working on that. It's just a process that's in place that you always have to be conscious of. But as I said, we want to win. We want to win now.